start with a theme song for the Raw wrap-up. Yeah, that's how we're starting. It's the Raw wrap-up of Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the upper office area. Oh, I'm going to put the microphone in the right place. That's probably a good spot. And with me here in Pittsburgh, PA is the Rizz.
Hi, Sorg.
Also joining us online. Hey, man. Rizz plays games. Look for him on the YouTubes. How you doing, Rizz? It feels like it's been forever.
It has. Like, I haven't been on this part of the show, this part of the podcasting world in a while.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back. It's good to have you. Well, let's get into Raw. Of course, crazy Money in the Bank. We're going to talk more about Money in the Bank itself, but let's start with Dean Ambrose, the Shield. It kind of we kind of expected it to go this way, but we're going to have the Shield exploding over the WWE title at Battleground, the last big main event for the pre-draft era, even though the draft is going to be the week before. So I'm sure there's going to be implications there as well. Man, it's awesome to see the Shield on top and see this going on. And
it's happening.
It's completely happening.
It's finally happening after, like, how many years since it broke up? How many years have we been saying at WrestleMania this was going to happen?
Right.
Now it's happening at Battleground.
Now I think it's gonna happen a lot. I think we're gonna see this every once in a while. Like once a year, we're gonna have like the Shield implodes, and maybe they'll team up, then they'll implode, and they'll team up, then they implode. You know, like Degeneration X. Yeah. You know, in the long run, we'll see how that goes. But no, I think it was really good. I thought we had a great match last night, of course, at the pay-per-view, followed up by what we had tonight. And yeah, Dean is crazy. I'm saying, yeah, put me in a triple threat. You know,
sure.
Yeah, I see that. Sure, that's fine.
It's something. It's something different. Like, how many times has heel champions backed out, and then somebody else said, "You're going to be in a triple threat match." Now it's the other way around, where it's like, we're not going to have this winner, this title match go, or this number one contenders match go on a count out, and then he's interrupted by the champion. That rarely happens. So that was one of the rare times that Raw had a cool ending to a show.
So and between that, and I'm just looking at the rundown on WWE.com of exactly what happened, just to refresh a little bit real quick. And I'm really excited about looking and seeing, like, wow, everything had a little bit of weight to it. Everything had a little bit of significance. I want to go with what's fresh. The only thing I think didn't have much was Baron Corbin. Corbin just go out and beat somebody up. That's fine. He had a Zack Ryder match. But that was the least significant thing I think we had all evening. And I think that was really good. Let's go into, like, fresh on my mind, of course, is Titus O'Neal, Rusev, loving the battle there, loving the response.
That is so dad.
Yeah, it's great. What needs to happen is Titus needs that little bit of a mean streak, because he's too much of a happy-go-lucky world's greatest dad thing. And I'm glad to see that they're still doing some significant stuff with him, despite, like, you know, whatever happened a couple months ago, that he was suspended. So no, I think that's good. I to see that continue and just see the two big guys go at it like this, which, you know, that's the WWE way, and it's being done very, very well.
Unlike Baron Corbin.
No, I'm not saying that Baron Corbin's been done unwell. That's wrong. But I think, you know, I'm just saying, of the night, he got the most, like, we'll throw you with Zack Ryder.
Honestly, and I'm going to probably get a lot of flack, because we kind of we picked him, didn't we, Sorg, in our draft?
I think we did. I mean, despite where he is now, he's got a bright future.
He needed more time in NXT. A lot more time.
Okay.
I
can
don't
see that.
I don't like him up on the main roster at all.
Hopefully he doesn't get lost in the deck, but I think he's doing fine. I think he's gonna float around that mid to lower card for a while, just beating people up for a while until they feel confident. Like kind of a Ryback spot, but still, that's that's a decent spot for him, and we'll see where he grows from there. And I think he's adapting fairly well to the main roster otherwise. So we got to talk about the Women's Championship. Of course, we had Charlotte and Paige Great to see those two going at it again. But of course, Sasha Banks coming out at the end. And I guess not to mention Natalia's crazy heel turn that got pushed again tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Good
for them. And I think Dewey might have a little hand in this. Like Mick's son probably has a little hand in the Divas division now.
Okay,
they are like he like wanted to like manipulate and book that. I think that has something that booking of Natalia turning on Becky.
Where you getting? Is this a reference to something that I'm not catching?
Oh no, because the entire Foley family is like really behind the women's division. So I think Dewey probably, since he's now writing for WWE, he had something to do with everything that's going on in that division.
Could be. That'd be great to see.
And it actually made me interested in a women's match for the first time in months, because the Divas Revolution has been on a nosedive, Sorg.
I think it was in a holding pattern. I think it got in a holding pattern from Sasha getting hurt, and I don't think they're 100% behind Becky just yet. Like Becky's in that kind of Baron Corbin role, you know what I mean?
No, Dana Brooke is in the Baron Corbin role, Sorg.
She's in that secondary thing. She doesn't even need to be in the Baron Corbin role. I'm shaking.
I hate that we're talking about Baron Corbin roles now.
The Baron Corbin effect. Okay, other than that, of course, John Cena, Carl Anderson had a match of sorts. I liked the Bullet Club, and again, not having experienced a ton of the Bullet Club that everybody talks about in New Japan or anything like that. I just like, hey, there's a guy in Ring of Honor, and he's wearing a Bullet Club T-shirt. Oh, hey, that's AJ Styles, or that's Gallows and Anderson, or whatever the case may be, or a random Japanese guy, that I don't know. This is, they're the NWO at this point, and I think it's fantastic that we haven't had this in forever. And I love the I'm sorry, like the fake apologies and leading to the match. And of course, I think this is perfect for this kind of thing. And John Cena is the guy who's going to take on all three of them as long as he can, and it is what it is. I think that's awesome.
I like, as soon as they started doing the whole fake apology thing, it was gold. Like, I felt like it was actually drawing me into the match. It was drawing me into them actually feuding with John Cena, and I like that. The only thing is, and this kind of irks me a little bit, John Cena was right. like the entire thing was like they had the contract, they signed the contract, and they still had to come out, and it was like, but they did even jump on that as well, saying AJ Styles signed that, we didn't sign it. So it actually made that feel a little better, knowing that they kind of followed the rules a little bit.
I have to go with something, we talk about, guys that maybe people aren't 100% on. I know I saw some of the blow up whenever these guys came out, but the Wyatts came back.
Yeah.
Did a New Day interrupt?
Yes.
We're having the start of something grand, and then we cut the commercial.
And then Xavier Woods, I think Xavier Woods might have been...
he was possessed by Vigo.
He was possessed.
He was possessed by Vigo the Carpathian, obviously. So that's going to lead into the Ghostbusters crossover. That's inevitable. I'm guessing that just because I saw the Ghostbusters ad I don't know how many times tonight during Raw. So there's that. But again, being like the guys, they are. I know. I think we just got a truncated segment for whatever reason tonight with these two groups. But the next 4 weeks or whatever until the next pay-per-view, that will almost inevitably be a 3-on-3 with these guys.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to see what happens. If everybody's been, I wanted the Wyatts to come back and just be evil as hell. Then Braun Strowman,
everybody.
Then Braun Strowman started clapping to New Day. Was it New Day? Was it New Day dies or what? What did they say?
I forget what it was.
New Day falls.
New Day falls. Yes. Which sounds like a nice, resort off of, somewhere.
It sounds like a PlayStation game that
that Norman Reedus is crying over.
Norman Reedus is crying over babies. But anyways, or there's mechs involved somehow, and it's very foreboding. But either way, I just a glimmer. I think I'm happy they're back. There was a good tweet. I don't know. Maybe it was you. Maybe somebody else is saying, "Hey, commentators, stop talking over their entrance. Yes. Let their entrance be their entrance." Yeah, I think so. I think it needs a bit. That's a problem TNA has a lot. Is whenever you watch, they don't let anything breathe. Wins, losses, moments or anything like that, and that's a moment that speaks for itself.
And speaking of the commentators, I have a bone to pick with a few guys here. First of all, JBL, shut up, or at least show some like emotion, or stand your ground with what you said. Yes, on yesterday about the AJ Styles thing. Yesterday, he was all over AJ Styles going, this stinks. Why did he have to ruin this entire match? And then today, I think
it's sadly his character. I think, or whatever he's getting fed or whatever the case is, and I know it's really kind of schizophrenic sometimes, but I don't know.
Michael Cole, get the moves named right.
Oh.
Pedigree and dirty deeds are not the same thing. You stupid idiot.
Other than that, some fun stuff. Of course, John Laurinaitis came back. The interesting thing with
Johnny
People Power. I think I'm liking. I like the flashbacks, the callbacks that we're getting about the general manager. It's like, hey, remember when we did this thing? Yeah, we're completely doing this thing again, but remember how this used to be? Hopefully that's a lead into, hey, this is going to be done a whole lot differently than before.
And I kind of don't like. They're kind of. I know he's kind of teasing it, but it's probably not going to happen. But the whole, I'm also going to be running Raw and SmackDown, kind of is weird.
Because they haven't really said how that's being determined.
He's just saying it. He's like,
everybody's just saying, I'm obviously going to take this because whatever, Is this something where Vince comes out and says, oh, actually it's going to be, and ends up being like, I don't know, Ric Flair and Eric Bischoff or something.
Oh, God, no.
Or Dixie Carter and Nigel McGuinness. I'm fantasy booking at this point. I think, maybe. Who knows? Or there's all these people. Wouldn't it be great if it was Kurt Angle?
About William Regal?
William Regal would be great. Not JBL would also be great.
JBL's Dragon would be nice.
There you go.
The Japan. Yes.
Lastly, I want to talk about the Fight Forever, my favorite feud. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Fit Finlay getting involved with the pull apart in the back.
Fit Finlay
and Road Dogg. Oh, you didn't know this fight got to end soon. We got to go.
No, it doesn't.
But no, this is I good. Just whereas we have like Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler are fighting yet again for like the 4th pay-per-view in a row or whatever, and you're like, really, we're doing this? And they're fighting on like every other show every week with Zack Ryder thrown in there. You can give me Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens over and over and over again, because those guys will make it memorable. Those guys will make it important.
Because they've been doing it for so long. They have that chemistry together. Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler have nothing.
They're trying. They're trying.
Yeah, they're trying, but Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens don't have to try. That's the thing. They make stories within matches. Even if the matches don't really involve them. See the Money in the Bank ladder match. See the Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania. See any tag match they were in. See anything that they weren't even supposed to be in.
Right, because it's how do they screw each other out of this thing that happens. And I also love, have you noticed Sami Zayn can't get the glow off a win?
No.
Sami Zayn has won I don't know how many times, but ends up laid out or fighting into the crowd or whatever the case may be. Like they never give a hint. Like this happened. By the way, this isn't over. And I think that's the fantastic way to do this. And again, like the fight forever, I think is going to be a thing, and you're going to see these at WrestleManias years down the line over multiple titles, over multiple stakes. This is going to be the Shawn Michaels Undertaker, 10 years from now, if we have our way, right? If they have their way, really. So I think that's very, very exciting. So, Rizz, the final question: how much of Raw was watchable for you tonight? Do the math.
245.
245.
Yeah, the only downside was the Baron Corbin match, because it also had Zack Ryder in it.
And not because of Zack Ryder, just because I saw this last week. I saw this last
week. It was Baron Corbin versus friend of Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means Dolph Ziggler.
Aren't you gonna be so happy when we definitely won't see the same match from SmackDown the next week on Raw?
Unless it's a Super Raw.
Unless it's a Super Raw, which we'll have once a month until we just have them every week.
Until they just have Super Raws.
So nobody notices anymore. Yeah.
Every week.
We'll see how long that lasts. We should have an over-under on when we finish our Mayhem draft on how long this iteration will last.
We should.
So for me, I think I'm gonna match the 245 with you. I was gonna go 230, but I did the math on it, and yeah, that's really the only segment where we're like, really, we're doing this.
Like it's a combination of that segment and maybe half of the half of the women's match. I think.
I love the women's match.
I mean, it was fine. It kind of makes me sad that Paige isn't really a big part in this revolution anymore, as much as she should be.
We also only have one title, and we'll see what happens with the brand split. I think any complaint you have has to be in a holding pattern until we see how the brand split settles in let's say 2 months. Talk to me after SummerSlam.
I can still be anxious, Sorg. I can still be, wondering what's going to happen, and I don't want them to fight for a Divas title too, right, which could happen.
Right.
Like they could split up the title as well and go Diva and Women's.
I really hope not. I really hope not. I haven't seen rumblings that they are going to do that. I think it'll be in poor, I don't want to say taste, or it would just be I think bad.
As long as Asuka is, now you got me saying Asuka is one of those champions, I will be fine.
I don't know what you're talking about. But anyways,
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. Oh, I watched the show and I'm like, oh, that's how I say it. I completely have that, and then I get to this point. Balor.
Finn Balor.
If you only listen to this is a running thing that I apparently can't pronounce a lot of things going on. All right, Rizz, thank you so much. Check everything around WrestlingMayhemShow.com. A lot of Indie Mayhem Show interviews and talk, including this guy talking with us about Super Indie from the IWC over at IndieWrestling.us coming up soon. Not yet, not tonight, but very soon, very soon. It's in the editing phases right now. I'm watching a toy commercial with Finn Balor. Finn Balor. Oh, there's a Ryback and chokeslam. I'm sorry. I'm rolling this back trying to find the beginning of the AJ Styles interview. But anyways, thank you so much. At the Rizz on the Twitter. I'm at Sorgatron, WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Subscribe to all the great shows and check out the latest on the Mayhem Draft. Our take on what exactly we think should be the roster makeups as we fantasy draft all these things. So
Sorg, I put a few in there in the Slack
yes.
if you want to.
Team Raw or Bust, the Rizz, the Dudders, and the Hot Wheels on the team with us. Check out those listings. The first 2 rounds, the first 20 participants have been chosen. So we'll see how that shakes out. We'll see you guys next time. Keep it raw.